mom and I first arrived in Errol, the look on our faces must have been priceless. I mean, our jaws must have dropped to the floor. And I know it must have been difficult for her to leave me somewhere that was so unfamiliar to the both of us. But within a few days, maybe a couple of weeks, she began to ease up and she began to see how much I was learning from this experience, how much I was growing, how much fun I was having. And still, definitely for me, it was a culture shock experience. And it's not so much that there wasn't a lot to do in the small town, it's just that it was so different from what I was used to. The same things that I was doing in New York City were not the same things that I could do in Errol, New Hampshire. And I felt like almost within a period of 24 hours, I had to change my lifestyle and get used to it. And it's scary and it's intimidating when you're not used to something and you're out of your comfort zone. When I arrived in Bagog, I came with so many different fears of the area the refuge was in and animals, everything. And part of my job required me to face most of those fears. And it was difficult because when you're so afraid, it's hard to conquer something and it's hard to not just get up and want to run in the other direction. And in addition to my bravery, I feel that the one thing that really kept me going was the support I received from the refuge staff. I felt that they were always going above and beyond to just make sure I was having fun, I was still learning, and I always felt supported. And for me, that's important because I look back on my experience and I'm like, that's the one thing that could have changed my internship from being a positive one to a negative one. So I'm so thankful that they were great. I learned so much at Bagog, I can't even put it into words. I feel like when I look back on how I was when I first arrived and where I am now, it's a huge difference and it's a change. I think that's for the better. It's opened my eyes up to a lot. I got to do so many things I never would have done, and I got to see so many things I never would have seen, and I'm proud of myself that I was able to come here, conquer a lot of my fears, and still succeed. So that makes me feel good. Looking back on my experience, I had an awesome time and I would not trade it for any other refuge.
I mean, whoa, it's like really all I can say about this place.